Either the conservatives or the socialists or the fascists or the communists or the Christians or the Jews or the fascists were doing something to me. I don't think that anymore because I found out it doesn't fucking work. Most assholes just accept what it is anyway and get on with it. Right? So for the few of us who did question what was going on, I have found out personally, not for the whole world, that there's no separation, we're all one.
Wow.
This video was dope.
Oh my gosh, Taurus, how do you do this? That was stolen, by the way.
But yeah, that was
Yeah,
just.
I have the big girls stolen.
I got the video of it on YouTube, but y'all can go and see. But that's the end of my presentation.
Oh, look at you. Nice. What's the name of the video on YouTube?
I don't even know if it'll play.
That was beautiful, Taurus. That was great.
Yeah, that was great, man.
Yay, Taurus! Stop taking notes. It's always
Beauty has a way of turning up in places where you least expect it. We went to the Democratic Republic of Congo 2 years ago, the poorest country in the world. Kinshasa, the capital, has a population of 10 million and almost nothing in the way of hope or peace.
Yeah.
Until recently, there was a well-kept secret down there, a symphony orchestra. The only one in Central Africa, the only all-black one in the world. It's called the Kimbangas Symphony Orchestra. We'd never heard of it. No one we called had ever heard of it. But when we got there, we were surprised to find 200 musicians and vocalists who'd never played outside Kinshasa or had been outside Kinshasa. We were even more surprised to find joy in the Congo. When we told the musicians they would be on 60 Minutes, they didn't know what we were talking about. But still, they invited us to a performance. And tonight, we thought it would be good to hear them again. We caught up with them as they were preparing outside their concert hall, a rented warehouse. As curtain time neared, we had no idea what to expect, but Maestro Armand Diengienda seemed confident and began the evening with a bang. The music, Carmina Burana, was written by German composer Karl Orff 75 years ago. Did he ever dream that it would be played in the Congo? It wouldn't have been if it hadn't been for Armand and a strange twist of fate. Armand was a commercial pilot until 20 years ago when his airline went bust. So, like ex-pilots often do, he decided to put together an orchestra. He was just missing a few things. You had no musicians, you had no teachers, you had no instruments, and you had no one who knew how to read music.
No, nobody.
Armand's English is limited. He preferred speaking French, Congo's official language. When you started asking people if they wanted to be members of this orchestra, did they have any idea what you were talking about?
Au début, c'était...
In the beginning, he said, people made fun of us, saying here in the Congo, classical music puts people to sleep. But Armand pressed on. He taught himself how to read music and play the piano, play the trombone, the guitar, and the cello. He talked a few members of his church into joining him. They brought their friends, which brought more problems.
On avait à peine
We only had 5 or 6 violins, he said,
5 ou 6 violons.
for the 12 people who wanted to learn how to play the violin.
Donc,
So they took turns, he said. One would play for 15 or 20 minutes at a time. That was very difficult.
et c'était très difficile.
But more instruments started coming in. Some were donated, others rescued from local thrift shops in various states of disrepair. Then it was up to Albert, the orchestra surgeon, to heal them. He wasn't always gentle with his patients, but they survived.
Qu'on allait carrément,
Armand told us that when a violin string broke in those early days, they used whatever they had at hand to fix it. He took the wire from a bicycle,
bicycle, yes.
the brake of a bicycle, and turned it into a string for a violin.
Yes.
And it played music.
Oui.
And with every functioning instrument, more would-be musicians poured in.
S'il vous plaît.
Oh, that's amazing.